Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are Deception Stoppers, America's only child support education service. I am not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. I do not advocate that an offspring. I simply advocate you made them in private, exercise your right to raise them in private. And today I'm going to talk to you and give you further proof that the source of your injuries, okay, the source of your injuries comes from the Social Security card, which is the property of the Social Security Administration. And let me move my little box here. Hold on. All right, so suggested this, and I'm coming from the New Jersey Child Support Hearing Officers Manual. And for my New Jersey brothers, you can download this. I will put a link in the description box. This is child support's playbook in New Jersey. All right. If you read and master this playbook, you can get rid of child support in New Jersey. All right. And incidentally, this book, believe it or not, a lot of states have modeled New Jersey's book. All right. That's how good it is. This is what they are trained off of, and you need the same training. Okay. You need the same training. If you don't know the procedures of how 4D works, how do you intend on beating it? Now, remember, gentlemen, we are an education service here. What you do with that education is totally up to you. All right. I know a lot of people who went to college and didn't even and got a degree and worked someplace totally different than what they went to school and got a degree for. Okay. This is your education, gentlemen. It's here. It's not hidden. All right, it's open to the public. You can download it. You can read it. It's got the glossary of common child support terms attached to it. Get yourself a Black's Laws dictionary, all right, and start tearing it down. Now, again, proof that the Social Security number is the source of your injury. Anytime you put that Social Security number on a federal or a state or federal document, you are submitting yourself to their jurisdiction. You're also stating that you're no longer independent or free. All right. And you're stating that you are dependent. All right. Ask people who fill out a Section 8 form. All right. Anybody who fills out a Section 8 form is dependent on the government. All right. But that being said, check this out. It says, well, you know what? This is what we're going to do. I'm going to go here. Okay. Before I go into detail, let me show you how important the Social Security number is. And this is Center for Law and Social Policy, Truth or Dare, and Disestablishment of Paternity. Okay? Federal law does not require that the acknowledgement form meets certain requirements. Okay? Action Transmittal 9802 sets forth those requirements. They include the current name and what? Social Security number and date of birth of the mother and father, current full name, date of birth, and birthplace of the child. All right? No such thing as a mother, no such thing as a father, no such thing as a child. These are anything identified by a Social Security number is the property of the Social Security Administration. Okay? If you are renting a home and you get a knock on your door, say from the IRS, and say, well, you owe property taxes. Oh, I'm the renter. Oh, well, who's the owner? John Doe's the owner. Oh, okay, well, we got to go see him. Okay. The owner is required for any taxes or anything that is imposed against his or her property. It is that simple. You are not responsible for the 4D debt. Now, we're going to talk about the obligor. We're going to go back to the New Jersey Child Support Hearing Officer Programs Operations Manual. Okay. Suggested steps for obtaining all necessary information from what? The obligor. Okay. Now it says review the obligor questionnaire. And we're going to get to that. And then they're going to swear the obligor. So when you go in there and swear, you're swearing as an obligor. You're not swearing as a man. Okay. Let's look at the demographic questions to complete or confirm the information in the questionnaire. What is your current address? What is an address, gentlemen? It's not your street address. It is a zip code address. Look, residential address. Okay. When you put that zip code, all right, you're stating that you are in a federal revenue district. All right. And for those of you, if you don't know what that is, then you can come by, make an appointment, and we'll break that down to you. Okay. The first thing that they ask right here, what is your social security number? What should you be answering if someone asks you this? What's your social security number? I ain't got no social security number. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, what's the number? Okay, without a social security number, Title 4D cannot operate. They cannot find you. Okay, this is the key piece of information. Key is the what? Indefinite description of property made certain. They cannot operate without a social security number. It thwarts their efforts. If they don't have a social security number, they can't find the obligor or its assets. Okay, they cannot find a bank account. They cannot find where the obligor works. I'm not going to say you, all right, because I told you the law of attraction. Stop saying you. Stop saying me. Stop saying I owe. You know, stop putting you in that equation. Okay, the social security number is liable for that debt, just like the owner of the property that you rent is liable for any debt incurred on that property taxes. If the water main blows up on the property, you as the renter are not liable for it. The owner is. If there's a tax lien on that property, you are not responsible for it. The owner is. There is a 4D lien on the Social Security number. Who is liable for it? The Social Security Administration. Okay. Now we're going to go to the obligor questionnaire sheet. All right, and you'll notice what I did was I went down here. All right, look, if the obligor is employed, all it says here is obligor, obligor. Look, check it out. Let's go down here. Did I pass it? All right, look, obligor, obligee. That's all. Remember, the litigants must be properly named and properly identified as either obligor or obligee. Now, if the obligor or the non-custodial pay rent is positively identified by a social security number, who's liable for the debt? That means it is owned by the Social Security Administration. Okay, so let's go to the obligor questionnaire. Okay, and if for those of you who, if you have never turned yourself in, all right, or if you've dealt with child support, you've more likely filled out this document. All right, look, last name, first name. Okay, human beings have last names, or excuse me, corporations have last names. Okay, you have a family name. You are John of the family Doe. Also, look, it says also known as. Then it wants, look, driver's license number. How'd you get a driver's license? You put a social security number on it, didn't you? That's one of the ways that they track you. And look, right here, line 11, social security number. Okay. Then down here, what happens is when you fill this out, you're putting down a physical description. Okay, is what you're doing. All right, you're clearly stating that this is identifying the number holder. Okay, that's how they identify the person, all right, the man or woman who is holding that number. All right, guess what? If this right here wasn't here, this whole document is void. All right, so we're gonna go down. Look, street address, city, okay, corporation, state, another corporation, zip code, federal revenue district, gentlemen. Federal Revenue District. Okay, zip codes are used by federal agents, federal employees within the District of Columbia, a federal revenue district. All right, and we're just about done. I'm not going to keep you long. All right, and it goes down here, it says employment status. Okay, but more importantly, this is what I want to show you. All right, down here is where they seal the deal. Look, I certify that the foregoing statement made by me in the above financial statement are true. I am aware that if any statement made by me in the financial statement are willfully false, I am subject to punishment provided by these rules. And then it says what? Obligor's signature. Okay? When you sign this document, gentlemen, you cease to exist as a man and you succeed de-evolution of title to property to the status of obligor. Okay? My brothers in New Jersey, I strongly suggest you download this manual. You can't go wrong without it. Next time, and look, if you master it, next time you have a 4D hearing that you want to voluntarily attend, take it in there with you. All right, take it in there with you. All right, because under their manual, let me see if I can find this real fast. Okay, under their manual, and let me show you this. Let me show you. Where you go? All right, that's diligent efforts. Hold on. Let me get down here. I got to get down to the commentary section. All right, under this manual, it tells you information fosters compliance. So if you want them to comply, all right, this manual is binding on everybody who works in the 4D industry in the state of New Jersey. All right, I'm trying to get to it. Okay, this is, according to them, this is a living document. All right, look up the word living document. Okay, there it is. Nope, wait. Give me a second. I got it highlighted in purple. Can't remember what page it was on because I was rushing through it. Okay, and it's on child support commentary. There it is. Information fosters compliance. Okay, there's a general agreement that the quality of information gathered from parties and given to parties correlates directly with the ability of the court to uphold and enforce the court orders and the ability of the parties to comply by knowing what is expected of them. What is expected of these people? They're expected to follow this manual. And here it is. Lack of an obligor social security number significantly hinders probation's ability to use automated systems to locate an obligor's assets or employer. Failure to advise an obligor as to where to submit payments pending the income withholding may result in non-payment of support based on ignorance rather than non-compliance. Gentlemen, I am the Amin Osiris. We are deception stoppers. And again, we are America's only child support education service. Okay? Download this manual. You can Google it, New Jersey Child Support Hearing Officer Program Operations Manual. All right? It's shit, man. This thing is... I have the original copy of this. All right? It's damn near 500 pages, and it cost me about $100 in ink just to print it out. Okay? But the fact of the matter is, if you're really fighting child support or Title 4D in New Jersey, this is what you want to master. Everybody says, well, where do I start? Start at the beginning, gentlemen. Okay? Start at the beginning. Knowing statutes and codes, and that's wonderful. But guess what? Why not just go directly to the source and use their information against them? You just imagine if you walk into a 4D hearing with this book, right? And you're referring to this book, because let me show you something. Right. New Jersey Child Support Hearing Officer Program Operations Manual. Look, New Jersey Judiciary. All right, look, court staff is required to adhere to its provisions. This manual is binding on court staff. All right, so if this manual is binding on court staff, check this out. We'll go to the mission statement. All right, look. We are an independent branch of the government, constitutionally entrusted with what? To protect the rights and liberties guaranteed by the Constitution and laws of the United States and this state. All right. So right then and there, gentlemen, this right here alone should shut down the 4D hearing. Well, sir, is this a court? Yes. And isn't it true that you are constitutionally entrusted to protect the rights and liberties guaranteed by the Constitution? All right, okay, look, you got the book in your hand. You're opening it. You want to read it? There you go, Mr. Judge. You want to read this? So is this constitutional here? All right. And accordingly, sir, this manual is binding on all court staff. That includes you. So now, if I was in the situation, all right, in New Jersey, which I have used this before, all right, what I would do is I'd go to section 1005, all right, customer service, bam, right? The goal of the New Jersey court system is to serve our customers courteously. So wait a minute. It says here that you are constitutionally entrusted to protect my rights. But here it says you want to serve your customers. All right, well, check this out. I have the right not to be your customer. So tell you what, I don't want anything to do with you. All right, and check this out. The child support hearing officer should strive to treat customers with respect, dignity, and courtesy. So, all right, if the mission statement says that you have to protect the rights, liberties that are guaranteed in the Constitution, and I don't want to be your customer, how come they're not dismissing that case? Our diverse customers include, but are not limited to, self-represented litigants. Number one, I'm not a litigant. Okay. The only reason I'm here is because you sent me this bullshit in the mail. All right. Which you shouldn't have accepted anyway. All right. I'm not self-represented. I'm not a litigant. And more importantly, I have no desire to be your customer. So therefore, I'm saying no thank you to you and your services. All right. Delivering quality service. I don't want your service. Okay. Anybody out there heard of, say, Stanley Steamer or Pep Boys or AutoZone? All right. They offer services. What corporation can force you to be a customer who accepts their offer of service? They cannot. Okay. That's why it is important, gentlemen. This federal manual and the New Jersey, all states have child support manuals, gentlemen. You just have to find it. And please don't email me talking about, can you find the one for this and this and that? Look for it. Stop being lazy. Okay? New Jersey's I got a few states. If you want them, look for them. If you ask me for it, I'm going to charge you for my time. Okay? You got to stop being lazy, gentlemen. This book right here breaks it all down. And then, again, we're going to go down to section 1208. All right, if they got to respect your rights, all right, guess what? The litigants, all right, I'm not a litigant, must be properly named and properly identified as either obligor or obligee. I didn't give you permission to change my name. I'm not an obligor. An obligor is identified by what? Social Security number. That's the property of Social Security Administration, isn't it? Here it is right here. All right, that order, no child support order can exist or be effective without a Social Security number. They include current name and Social Security number. All right, the current name is the name that's on the Social Security number. That's the all caps name. That is the property of the Social Security Administration. Okay? That's their property. They're liable for that debt, not you. Okay? And we'll go back. Look, check this out. Do a little more. The parties might also enter into a voluntary agreement. That agreement has to have a Social Security number on it. Here again, in order to receive federal child support funds, states must have certain laws, one in which parents can voluntarily acknowledge paternity. Okay? There is no federal requirement that genetic tests be conducted before paternity is established. All right, and let me see here. This is the other one I was looking at. All right. The federal provisions described below are not mandatory. Gentlemen, there's no law that requires any state to enforce, offer, and sell child support services. They only do it as a condition of receiving federal funds. However, in order to receive federal funds for the 4D, for the child support in that state, programs, states must adopt these laws. Just imagine you get a knock on the door from a cop and a social worker, and that cop and the social worker should sign these papers. What are these papers? Well, you're going to have to adopt this child. I'm not adopting nobody else's kids. You can't make me do anything. Okay? Well, sir, if I don't, then what? What you gonna do? You can't do shit. You can't force me to adopt somebody. Now, for anybody who knows about foster children, if you adopt foster children, I think it's like $2,500 a month. I don't know. Don't quote me on the price. But the only way you're going to get it is if you adopt them, and they're going to need your Social Security number. Excuse me. They're going to need a Social Security number from you in order to do so. And if you adopted that offspring, that child, because that's what it is, it's a child, it's property of the state. If you adopted it, then you're legally responsible for it. Okay, financially responsible for it. They're going to want you to pay rent on that property. I'm the Ahmed Osiris. Again, we are deception stoppers. My brothers in New Jersey and my brothers across the country, period. All right, for those of you, and again, I know what your issue is, gentlemen. I've been there before. I've walked 100 miles in those shoes. Okay? You got to start at the beginning. Find out the procedures on how 4D works. You already know, I've already exposed the fact that it's all based off the Social Security number. Okay? start hitting the Social Security Administration and start making them pay the debt on their property. All right. Again, if you're the holder, you're the number holder. You are not the number owner. Okay. You can hit me at ivd_destroyer@yahoo.com. All right, and we will properly educate you, all right, on how to start fighting back. Hotep.